to Fact Up. Fresh news every day.
America is back on the streets. Trump is sending the army into Chicago. Is the city co-resisting? What are the details? Trump said that despite his disappointment in Putin, they still have a good relationship. What's that even like? North Korean hackers are working for the government. $2 billion were stolen from Bitcoin wallets. The money is going to the defense sector. Donald Trump announced he was giving Tomahawks to Ukraine. But there's a catch. Ukraine has no weapons to launch them with. What should be done? Washington is stuck. Thousands of officials are out of work. Offices are empty. Mass layoffs due to the shutdown. Details. The rapper begs for mercy. P. Diddy appeals to Trump. What is the president's reaction? Donald Trump said that he gets along well with Russian President Vladimir Putin, but is very disappointed in him. The president said the same thing a few days earlier.
But I'm very disappointed in Putin.
Trump says he expected to end the war between Ukraine and Russia much earlier, but Putin does not want the war to end. He only makes threats against America. Write your opinion in the comments. Do you think Donald Trump will be able to end the war in Ukraine that Russia started? Zelensky is confused. Ukraine is preparing to receive American Tomahawk missiles, the delivery of which Trump confirmed. But there's a critical issue that hasn't yet been resolved. Ukraine simply doesn't have the systems capable of launching them. Military engineers are scrambling to find a solution, while the Pentagon is offering cautious comments. After the transfer of the long-range missiles, up to 2,000 Russian military and industrial facilities will be within their range, according to the American Institute for the Study of War. Less than a week ago, Putin commented on the delivery of tanks to Ukraine, stating that there would be serious consequences. As for Tomahawks, they're a powerful weapon. True, they're not exactly modern anymore, but they're powerful and pose a threat. And, of course, this won't change the attitude, the balance of power on the battlefield at all. I've already mentioned the fundamental problems of the armed forces. Tomahawks can cause us damage. We'll shoot them down. Will this damage our relationship, which seems to be seeing some light at the end of the tunnel? Of course it will. But how can Tomahawks be used without the direct involvement of American military personnel? This will mean a completely new, qualitatively new stage of escalation, including in relations between Russia and the United States. Donald Trump has decided to send troops to Chicago, and they have already arrived. Texas National Guard troops arrive in Chicago amid Trump's crackdown. Military presence comes after judge declined to block troops from entering, following lawsuit filed by city and state. Texas National Guard troops have arrived in the Chicago area, marking an escalation of Donald Trump's crackdown on the city. Chicago has already seen a ramping up of immigration enforcement in the past few weeks, as well as increasingly violent altercations in the suburb of Broadview, where law enforcement has been filmed deploying tear gas and pepper gas against protesters. The latest military presence comes after April Perry, a U.S. district judge, declined to immediately block troops from entering the city, amid a pending lawsuit from the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago against the Trump administration's actions. Kwame Raoul, the Illinois Attorney General, had filed the lawsuit on Monday in order to stop Trump from enlisting the state's National Guard or sending in troops from other states such as Texas immediately and permanently. But after Perry's ruling, the troops were mobilized on Monday, and multiple outlets, including the Chicago Tribune and New York Times, confirmed they were remaining in the Chicago area on Tuesday. Brandon Johnson, Chicago's mayor, also signed an executive order banning Immigrations and Customs Enforcement (ICE) agents from operating on city-owned properties. The third executive order attempting to limit the power of ICE agents in the city since Trump first signaled the deployment. City property and unwilling private businesses will no longer serve as staging grounds for these raids, said Johnson during the order's signing on Monday. The fact is, we cannot allow them to rampage throughout our city with no checks or balances. Nobody is above the law. If Congress will not check this administration, then Chicago will. The White House accused the mayor of aiding and abetting criminal illegal immigrant killers, rapists, traffickers, and gangbangers, Newsweek reported. After the Chicago escalation, Donald Trump stated,
Chicago mayor should be in jail for failing to protect ICE officers. Governor Pritzker also.
Tell us what you think about this. Did Trump do the right thing? State your position in the comments.
I saved TikTok, so you owe me big time.
Trump returned to TikTok after almost a year.
To all of those young people of TikTok, I saved TikTok, so you owe me big, and now you're looking at me in the Oval Office, and someday one of you are going to be sitting right at this desk, and you're going to be doing a great job also.
Do you think Trump seriously thinks that the younger generation owes him anything now? Milrem Robotics, the world's leading robotics and autonomous systems developer, will deliver over 150 TMIS unmanned ground vehicles, UGVs, to Ukraine as part of a donation funded and coordinated by the Netherlands. A significant portion of these vehicles will be assembled and delivered in collaboration with VDL Defentech. The donation was initially announced in September. However, the identity of the contributing country was not disclosed. On 6 October, the Dutch Minister of Defense, Ruben Brekelmans, joined Milrem Robotics and VDL for a formal announcement and signing ceremony at VDL's facility in Born to mark the agreement. Milrem Robotics will deliver comprehensive training to Ukrainian operators and support staff to ensure efficient deployment and maintenance in the field. This initiative highlights the strength of cooperation between partners in Europe's defense industry and their ability to scale up and contribute directly to international security. The new units will add to the 15 TMIS vehicles already in operation in Ukraine, which have been proving their effectiveness on the battlefield since 2022. TMIS is a proven and highly adaptable unmanned vehicle platform designed to support dismounted forces, logistics, reconnaissance, and combat support missions. North Korea's crypto hackers have stolen over $2 billion in 2025. This brings the cumulative known value of crypto assets stolen by the regime to more than $6 billion. According to the United Nations and various government agencies, these funds are believed to play a critical role in financing North Korea's nuclear weapons and missile development programs. The actual figure may be even higher. Attributing cyber thefts to North Korea is not an exact science. Elliptic and other experts use a combination of blockchain analytics, observed laundering patterns, and intelligent sources to make an attribution. We are aware of many other thefts that share some of the hallmarks of North Korea-linked activity but lack sufficient evidence to be definitively attributed. Other thefts are likely unreported and remain unknown. Russia's illegitimate president and dictator Vladimir Putin, who is already over 70, seriously dreams of immortality. The Kremlin is actively launching new projects to prolong life, financing research into aging and regeneration technologies. For some, this is just another whim of the dictator. For others, it is a symbol of his endless thirst for power. Putin sees himself not just as a leader, but as a timeless figure, a man who must outlive eras, states, and his own opponents. His struggle for immortality has become a metaphor for his eternal fear of losing control. According to the Constitution, which he rewrote to suit himself, he can remain president until 2036. It should be recalled that a month ago, at a military parade in Beijing, a recording was accidentally made in which Vladimir Putin was already discussing immortality with the Chinese president. At that time, Chinese President Xi Jinping said that, in the past, people rarely lived to be 70, but today, at 70, you are still a child. Putin replied that, thanks to the development of biotechnology, human organs can be transplanted continuously, and people will be able to live younger and even achieve immortality. In response, the Chinese leader said that the forecasts are that in this century, there is a chance to live to 150 years. Alarm is rising in Washington due to the ongoing shutdown. Federal agencies are preparing for massive layoffs. A directive has been issued within the White House. Make plans for reduction in force. The layoffs will be permanent, not temporary, if funding is not restored. The IRS has already announced layoffs of half its staff. Thousands could lose their jobs. Hundreds of thousands of employees are watching in the shadows. Will this be a relief from loans or a blow to the government? Donald Trump said that sentenced rapper P. Diddy has asked him for clemency.
I have a lot of people who have asked me for pardons. I call him Puff Daddy has asked me for a pardon.
But she was convicted of child sex trafficking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to take a look at it. I'd have to ask DOJ. I didn't know they rejected it. I didn't know she was even asking for it, frankly.
Write what you think about this, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.